Jan Ozer here from the show floor at NAB. I'm with Kyle Bank from Phenix Technologies. How are you, Kyle?
I'm good.
So tell me what you're showing here at the show.
So Phenix focuses on real-time video streaming with less than 500 milliseconds or half a second of end-to-end latency. That's glass to glass from the time we capture the first frame all the way through playout on the end user device. And we do so based on our implementation of WebRTC technology. We've essentially rewritten the entire WebRTC stack from the ground up, all the way from the UDP level up, and have built some proprietary features on top of what you get with off-the-shelf WebRTC, like multi-bitrate real-time transcoding for ABR delivery, so we can adjust the bandwidth based on the client's available bandwidth, jitter, and other networking conditions, as well as synchronize across the whole audience. So
is this your booth, or is this the booth of a customer, or what are we seeing here?
So we're doing a shared booth this year with one of our customers and close partners, Ex Machina Group, and they've built a white label trivia solution based on our real-time streaming technology and their interactive trivia and Q&A polling technology.
So what are some public uses of your technology or their technology, and tell us why low latency was so important?
So some of the key use cases we support today are interactive sports betting applications, real-time auctions where people are bidding in person against people that are bidding online watching the feed, as well as webinar platforms. Trying to think of what else.
What are some of the sexier applications? You mentioned some award ceremonies, or?
Yeah, so we worked with the Oscars this year to stream the behind-the-scenes action of the crowd shots of celebrities interacting with each other. Also involved a Q&A of who was wearing what shoes going down the red carpet, who's going to win the next Oscar, who's going to win Picture of the Year. So that was a really fun project to work on.
Did you get to go, or?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go. Our Chief Product Officer, Bill Wishon, was on site. We had our hardware encoder deployed there, and we're delivering real-time streaming to a web-based application.
So what's the core product we buy from you?
The core product it's an end-to-end solution, all the way from the contribution encoding through playout on end-user devices, where we can do the real-time transcoding and deliver to hundreds of thousands of concurrent viewers across the globe.
So that includes the encoder. What about the player? Can I use my own player, or you have a player, or how's that work?
Yeah, it's an HTML5 video player that is fully customizable. If some of our customers use kind of our off-the-shelf controls that we've built into the player, others want to really customize that and brand it for their own use cases. So we try to be flexible on the player front. Okay,
so tell us some of the details of your encode. You're doing obviously a complete encoding ladder. Are you doing HEVC yet, or is it all H.264? What are you looking at there?
So today we're doing H.264 and VP8, which are the two primary codecs supported by WebRTC in the browser today. HEVC certainly on the roadmap, and we can implement codecs like that in native code environments for native iOS and Android SDKs and things like that. But we're looking forward to working closely with the browser, companies to improve their WebRTC stacks and also implement these new codecs for things like 4K streaming.
Are you using a fixed ladder, or tell me about your encoding ladder? What's the 1080? Is it 1080p down to what, and what bit rates are you using?
Sure, we go up to 1080p 60 at about 5.5 megabits per second, all the way down to, I believe, 144p at 80 kbps. So it's a pretty full ladder, and we have some customers where quality is everything, and they're trying to maintain 1080p at several megabits per second, and others where they're in very bandwidth constrained environments where they might be publishing lower definition streams. So we kind of run the gamut on use cases when it comes to.
You see low latency as growth? I mean, who are the big markets? You talked about auctioning. But probably the biggest trend, as you pointed out, in this whole NAB is low latency. Who really cares about that, and why?
The people that care about that are the ones that are going to win out in the OTT space. If you have multiple OTT providers providing the same feed of the same event, but you can see it somewhere 30 seconds before you're going to see it somewhere else, whether that's live news, live sports, or a live event that's being covered, we feel pretty strongly that the lower latency solution at a reasonable quality and a reasonable price, which is what our goal to offer to our customers, is going to provide a competitive advantage in this marketplace.
Okay, any thoughts on WebRTC versus the new, I guess, low latency CMAF we're seeing a lot of?
Yeah, I think CMAF certainly has its place, and we're very familiar with that and the players involved in developing CMAF. but for our focus of delivering a stream in half a second or less, CMAF is going to be good for applications that need 2 to 4 seconds of latency and can get to that low latency environment. But for really real-time interactivity and to enable these sports betting companies to extend that betting window all the way up until the last second when Tiger Woods makes that putt, or LeBron James hits a three-pointer, we're going to try to maximize revenue for our customers by providing them the lowest possible latency we can without having to sacrifice on quality.
What about the scalability of WebRTC?
That's a big challenge, but we've built out a global network today. We have 20 points of presence. By the end of 2019, that'll be about 30. Today we have 2 infrastructure partners. We operate in elastic cloud compute environments, and we're working on partnerships with several other cloud providers as well as CDN providers for launching our software across their environments to further improve our scalability. But today we're doing daily events of upwards of 200,000 concurrent viewers, where we have 200,000 viewers joining over the course of 2 or 3 minutes. So we've had to spend a lot of time engineering how we maximize our capacity on the join rate. So not only how do you handle that large audience, but when they hit your server all at the same time, how do we handle that peak load?
Okay. Well, what can you tell me about? Do you price it on a per user, or how if I was thinking about your solution, what would I think about pricing?
Our pricing model is based on the number of viewer minutes. So if you had 100 viewers watching for 10 minutes, it'd be 1,000 viewer minutes. We try to really align with our customers' revenue models, and we also want to enable the highest possible quality. So we have a tiered structure. The higher volume of minutes you stream, more cost effective that becomes per minute, but it's not necessarily dependent on the bit rate that you're publishing. We try to come up with a price that's fair for the customer and fair for us, that allows them growth over time. So as bit rates increase and quality increases, they're not having to renegotiate their contracts with us year over year. So that's why we've chosen to go with a per viewer minute model instead of the per gigabyte, more traditional CDN model.
Okay, what's that website?
Our website is phenixrts.com, PHENIXRTS.com. Stands for Phenix Real-Time Solutions.
Okay, listen, thanks for your time today. Interesting stuff.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.